Awesome, awesome,
Great.
awesome, awesome. Thank you, Margaret, so much for having this event. And it's my time. Showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all put y'all seatbelts on and let's go for a ride. Because I'm going to take you there. My question to you all is this: is it really better to marry than to burn? If any of you have ever heard that biblical term, that it's better to marry than burn, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. See how many Bible scholars we have here. 1 Corinthians 7 and 9 says, but if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. That's huge. That's huge. And I'm going to give you all a little bit about my story. I've been married not once, not twice, but 3 times. All because of that one scripture. And when we were dating, we wanted to shake up some trees because sometimes the temperature got so hot. But what I would do, I would think about that scripture, and I was drowning in guilt because of that scripture. Ladies and gentlemen, that scripture was buried. It was buried deep in my brain. And guess what? We got married each time. Why? I like to say because they wanted the goods. Yeah, I said it. They wanted the goods. But in all honesty, I had no clue about love, building a strong relationship, financial planning, and I certainly had no clue about the responsibilities that came with having children. I had no clue who I was or the value that I possessed. And I certainly did not know about the qualities that I should look for in a man. Because guess what? The church didn't teach me that. Once I heard a preacher say, he said that a piece of man is better than no man at all. That statement is a misnomer. And it took me 3 failed marriages for me to realize that. I was also taught that God could take nothing and turn it into something. And although that does stand to be true, the only way, ladies and gentlemen, that God can change you or me is if and only if we want to be changed. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. And I'm going to share with you 5 benefits of marriage and, of course, 5 benefits of being single. 5 benefits of being married. Emotional support. Marriage provides a consistent source of emotional support through life's challenges, fostering companionship and a deep sense of belonging. Financial stability. Married couples often benefit from shared income, tax advantages, and pooled resources, which can create a more secure financial environment. Health benefits. Studies suggest that married individuals tend to experience better physical and mental health due to shared responsibilities as well as the emotional bonding that comes with it. Stronger social network. Marriage typically strengthens connections with extended family and friends, providing a broader support network and community. Shared life goals number 5 for married people. Marriage enables partners to work together toward common goals such as buying a house, raising a family, or building a legacy, which can bring a deeper sense of fulfillment. Now I'm going to jump to 5 benefits of being single. Independence. I'm smiling, y'all. Can y'all hear me smiling in my voice? I'm smiling. Independence. Being single allows for full autonomy over decisions, from daily routines to major life choices, fostering a strong sense of personal freedom. Self-development. Singles can focus more on personal growth, learning new skills, and exploring passions without needing to compromise for a partner's need or for their schedule. And that is huge for me, I have to say, because I already know. I said sometimes, some of my friends, well, girl, yeah, God got a husband waiting on you. No, he don't. He didn't tell me that anyway. But the reality, I think to myself, and I say to them sometimes, I cannot see myself right now. I'm so engrossed in the fact that I have learned and discovered my gifts and my talents. I'm so engrossed in this to the point that I think sometimes, what would I do if I had a man here? I got to stop. I got to go downstairs. I got to wash the clothes for him. I got to make up all these things. And at that moment, I tell God, thank you. Why? Because I had the experience of being married, but I've also had the experience not just of being single, but of being single and loving who God has made me to be. That's huge for me in my life. I'm not knocking marriage. I'm talking about Pat Rogers. Flexibility. Single life offers greater flexibility in terms of travel, career changes, or relocating without the need to consider a partner's preference or obligation. I just signed off on a new home for whatever reason I wanted my bedroom downstairs because I got a little medical stuff going on in my hip. So I said, let me go get me a house with the bedroom downstairs, my master. And I went and I did all the paperwork. They processed everything. It was a no-brainer. All my credit was good. Everything was good. As a matter of fact, I was praised because my process was so easy. But after I thought it through and I saw the difference in the income that I would be paying out on this house, on that house, and what they was willing to give me for this house, I had to go back and rethink some things. And then I came to the conclusion, you knock out the bedroom wall downstairs, make it bigger, and then voila, you'll have it. As opposed to jumping into a higher mortgage, a higher, what is that? A higher, what's that fees? The fees that you pay when you're in association fees. So in reality, I can certainly attest to this, that flexibility, had I had to make that decision with someone else, I might not have been able to cancel that. And I canceled it because it was good common sense. And I thought to myself, you've been in this house 4 years, brand new. Everything I need is here. Why in the world are you going to do that? So we do make decisions sometimes, and then not always the best. But I'm grateful because I had the opportunity, write the contract, write the letter. What was it? Retracting the contract. And voila, I'm still in my home today. And I'm going to tell you something. Had I made that move over that decision, because I wanted my master bedroom downstairs, I know that would have been one of the worst moves that I ever made, because things are constantly going up and I'm comfortable where I am financially and all the above. I love to have play money to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. So I just thought I'd throw that in. That wasn't part of my script. God did that. So at any rate, now we're going to talk about being single, the financial control. Singles have complete control over their finances, and I just tapped into that, which can lead to more personalized budgeting and financial decision making without having to balance shared expenses. And I am good for throwing away. I say throw away a lot of money. I spend money. I know how to spend some money, but I've also learned in my single days and my old age, I've learned how to manage. And there are times in order to manage what I needed to do, because I wasn't really keeping up with the money like I should, because I always had what I need when I needed it. But common sense, as we grow older, we know because we want to leave that legacy. I mentioned that word before. So of course, I hired a bookkeeper. And when she showed me everything that she showed me, I'm like, wow, I had no idea I was spending the kind of money that I was spending. And that's when a lot of these systems that I use for this business, I had to shut some of them down. Why? Because I was paying for them and I really wasn't using them. So on the business side, a lot of times we buy things because it's our friend selling it. We buy things because it's something, it looks good, or we buy it because sometimes other people have it and we want to be a part. But I'm grateful because even today, I have sense enough to stop, to breathe, and to go back and look at things. And I'm so grateful for that because money, when we lose it, it's gone. We may say we're going to recoup it, but one thing I can say, we'll never get back that that money, but we can always make more. So I'm excited today about this topic. I'm excited about my growth. And I'm excited about being single. And yes, I do have a BMW. And I'm just saying, y'all, I'm excited about all that God has done for me. Some people may call it self-serving. You can call it what you want. But I'm giving God the praise because there was many times in my life, even those marriages, those were bad decisions. And them bringing home the money wasn't a problem because back in those days, the men, they brought me the check. But guess what? The only problem with that was my checks was always bigger than their checks. So why I need a man now? So that's my story. Lastly, I want to talk, not lastly, but anyway, number 5. Time for relationships. Being single allows more time to cultivate deep connections with not only friends, but with family and social circles without the emotional and time investment that a relationship often requires. And I'm going in, I got a little bit of time left. We talk about online dating. We've had events for that. That's a big deal right now. Everybody, I watch YouTube. It's a lot of online dating. Yes, I've had men come to me about online dating. But the reality of it is that I get to choose. I get to pick and choose. And when it comes down to relationships, because of the knowledge I have, some things is just a no-no. Why? Because you have to get to know people thoroughly, thoroughly before you turn over your life in marriage. And I just don't see me getting to know people personally on a personal note. All the things that I need to know on an online dating site. And what happened, I brought that up because what happens, I talk to people, I'll talk to them. But when they start texting me and telling me to go to WhatsApp and let's talk on that app, I'm not doing that. I don't have to, and I say that not because that's a bad deal for some people. I don't have the time. Why? Because I found my purpose. I'm walking in my purpose, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you the truth. I do not want, I think what if I was to get married? But the way I feel about that for Patricia is that it's so fulfilling to know what your calling is and to know that you make a difference in the lives of other people doing what you do. So therefore, and of course, I always ask them, we're having an event next week. You want to come to the event? And of course, y'all know, ladies, y'all already know the stories you get. They working in other countries. Their wife is this, is their widow and all this stuff. On that note, I go up to my section. If they can't come and do what I'm doing online, I'm done. I'm done because I will not allow anyone in my life right now to take me out of my comfort zone. They're not going to take me out of my calling because I know me. And when I fall in love, that man becomes my God. And then I forget about the real God. So We all heard that term that God is a jealous God. Well, I'm going to tell y'all something about that. He is jealous. And I'm so glad that he's jealous enough of me that he protects me and he helps me think better today. Because back in my younger days, I'll take whatever. But that was not the way to form a marriage. And in a marriage, any kind of relationship, even friends, women on women, men on me, whatever, we have to ask the right questions. Because be it whatever kind of relationship, everybody I'm going in cannot go where God is trying to take me. I'm good with that, y'all. I hope I didn't step on too many toes today, but I told y'all to put your seatbelts on because I know somebody can relate to what I'm saying today. But I'm going to say this. Whether you choose marriage or singleness, know that each path carries its own unique benefits. Marriage offers partnership and shared growth, while singleness provides independence and self-discovery. The key is to remember, is to embrace the journey that aligns with your personal values. So we must make sure that those people, even after we get married, if we're not willing to sit down and talk about it, and a lot of those things was missing in my day because we got married for all the wrong reasons. Pick up your complimentary gift. That's the end of my presentation. And for listening to me, I would like for you to pick up a complimentary gift of my recent release, In-Person and Virtual Events That Rock. And chapter 1 goes a little bit more into some more of my story that some of you haven't heard yet. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Go to patriciarogers360.com, pick up a copy. And with that, I want to say thank you all for allowing me to share. And I am going to stop sharing my screen. And I want to say, I got happy behind this message, y'all. I got happy. And I'm going to tell you something. When you know that God has a calling on your life, I don't want nothing to interrupt this thing. Because I've been through the worst. I've been in situations when I could have been 6 feet under. I've been in situations, I've had an addiction. I've been in situations that I could have been in jail. But God brought me through. He took me through. And when I walked through this house, looking over my life and seeing all that he's given to me, I came up off welfare. I used to lick peanut butter off the spoon because we was on welfare waiting for mama to come home and feed us 6, 7, 8 children. 8. I remember those days, walking outside, playing in the street because I had no shoes to put on. And I walk in the house because I got a stumped toe. I remember those days. So yes, mama was working all the time. The church just taught us how to love God and marry within the church. But the generation I came up, wasn't nobody in the church that I wanted. How about that? So I married, were outside, and those guys were not accepted because they didn't go to church. Whatever. But even in the midst of all of that, I'm going in, y'all. There was also some domestic violence. Yes, it was. It was some domestic violence. So I'm sharing with y'all when we talk about marriage versus single, I'm going to say this. Whatever you do, keep God in the forefront. Because he can turn anything that's nothing into something because he did it for me. That's my story, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sticking to it. And I want to say thank you to Williams for coming. Roosevelt, wave your hand for coming today. He worked with me for 29 years on that job. And he came to me. He called me a few weeks ago. He said, I need some help. I watched you, and I want you to be my coach. Ladies and gentlemen, how does that happen? If you didn't walk the walk and talk the talk. Like I told y'all, I'm getting happy up in here. Because when I look where he brought me from and where I am today, I tell him, thank you for allowing me to love myself enough. Thank you for letting me have everything that I desire. But most of all, thank you for letting me know that I'm worthy. I'm worthy. That's my story. I'm Dr. Patricia Rogers, visibility strategist And I am the CEO of Unity and Service, where people need people. Over to you, Margaret. Over to you, Jasmine.